Hello and welcome to another episode of Reese's Random Reviews. I am Reese and I'm about to give you a random review. 51 years ago today, Mary Poppins was released. Known as one of the best musicals of all time, Mary Poppins is known as a worldwide classic even to this generation. Growing up watching this film, I was not really a fan of Mary Poppins as a kid, and I didn't really understand it. It was too confusing and it was kind of boring on some scale. The only thing I actually really loved about it was its songs and music. But then a magical true story came along and I started to appreciate Mary Poppins even more when I saw Saving Mr. Banks. This remarkable true story tells the behind the scenes making of Mary Poppins itself. However, it's not really about the making of the whole motion picture. The real story is actually about Walt Disney, who tried to convince author P.L. Travers, who created Mary Poppins, to make her books into a real-life motion picture. P.L. Travers, however, will not allow Walt Disney to make Mary Poppins into a film, but she says that the only way it will be made into a film is if the company go by her rules and her rules only. What I love about this film is everything: the story, the performances, and the fact that this film is very honest to its nature. Like, for example, many people would expect to see Walt Disney as some sort of charming, wonderful, interesting, nice guy. But watching this really shows the real insight to what Disney was really like. Although he was a genius with his films, Walt was actually very stubborn, determined, and in a way a bit selfish in his nature. And P.L. Travers, well, we all know as P.L. Travers. Watching this film, I never really did my research when I found out about this true story, so when I heard about this movie coming soon, I had to find out what the plot's true story was all about. Then I heard all about P.L. Travers, and my god did I hear some things. She was rude, pompous, arrogant, and also, well, just a meanie. But as you go deeper into the film, you start to see why she was like that in the first place, and it's a very sad story, but at the same time it's an interesting one. Also, you get to see why Mary Poppins was so important to her and how Mary Poppins actually came into her life. You're going to have to see that for yourself. I don't want to spoil anything. There is no real hero or villain in this movie. Walt and Travers, in a way, were just as bad as each other, but in different ways. It was the war of the creative minds, as both films were determined to make the film their own, and that's what made this film so entertaining. But what makes this film also amazing is the performances. Tom Hanks as Walt Disney is absolutely incredible. Tom took Walt to a T, and every time he was on the screen, I just couldn't keep my eyes off him. I mean, what was so incredible was that it was actually looked like I was watching Walt Disney, not Tom Hanks, which was just amazing, which means I really believed into the acting. Well, it's Tom Hanks, for crying out loud. He's one of the best actors in the world. You can't blame him for that. But also, Emma Thompson does an amazing performance as P.L. Travers. She was emotional, she was dramatic, and to be honest, at times she was actually quite funny as well. But Emma Thompson has also been a marvellous actress, and you know what? She's done a really amazing job. Also, what I loved was some of the side characters' portrayals, like the Sherman brothers. They also did a wonderful job, and my god, did they look like the Sherman brothers from years ago. This is my favourite true stories for many reasons, and one that I just love again and again every time I watch it. I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend it 100%, otherwise you are missing out completely. But if you have seen it, do you think that this is one of the best true stories ever made? And if so, why don't you let me know? Please comment and subscribe, guys. I'm Reese, and I've just given you a random review.